A question from Susan, since she could not be here tonight. With 40% of New Hampshire's revenue coming via federal coffers and taking into consideration the current $2 billion hole, not including Medicaid expansion, what step can be taken, if any, to slow the hemorrhaging? I would also add on, philosophically, how do we make our state self-sufficient and not dependent on other people's money that probably, with $18 trillion, is going to dry up pretty soon?
One of the ways you do that, and I agree with the goal, but one of the ways you do that is to take a look at what we're getting with the promises. I mean, if you look at the individual with disability education idea, you realize that we're spending a lot more money than is at all covered by the funds we receive from the federal government. And you start asking, is there a better way to do this? Eventually, I would like to get, I don't think we can get to this term, but I'd like to get to the point where we can say, should we participate in Medicaid at all? Because you don't have to. There's no law saying that a state has to participate in Medicaid. The last state joined, I think, in the 1980s. It was Alaska, I think. And you start looking at it and say, is this the way we want to provide health care for those who are economically challenged? Or do we want to transition out of it and give people a signal over the long term that you have to take care of your own needs, returning more to what are New Hampshire traditions, where people are self-reliant, or they join with neighbors and families to meet basic needs like that. You know, it's at some point going to take, I think, an understanding as to why there were 50 sovereign states and a federal government of limited powers. And we have to have the courage and the understanding to return to that.
Croc TV.